To learn, one accumulates day by day. To study Tao, one reduces day by day. Through reduction and further reduction, one reaches non-action, and everything is acted upon. Therefore, one often wins over the world through non-action. Through action, one may not win over the world. Do you guys remember Apple under Steve Jobs? Like at the time of the iPhone 4? Do you remember the sense of magic that surrounded Apple and their products? Maybe you were never an Apple fan, and that's fine. But for those of you who were, Apple, especially at that time, had this sort of charm about them. In a lot of ways, I think it was this sort of inherent charisma the companies seemed to have that sold their products more than the actual products themselves. And in a big way, I think this sense of charisma came from the simplicity and lack of excess that characterized an Apple product. They just felt so clean and minimal. In a world of increasingly escalating technological complexity, Apple's products felt like a breath of fresh air. They had all the features you wanted and none that you didn't. The interface was uncluttered and easy to navigate. The hardware was black, white, or gray, period. The lure of Apple products was almost less about what they had and more about what they didn't have. Similarly, in our lives, some of our greatest achievements come from doing nothing at all. However, we live in a world where we are taught that our greatest impact comes from what we do. We attend colleges, seminars, and workshops to learn how to do what we do better. But consider the great value that can be provided from doing nothing. The best jokes are told by not trying too hard to be funny. The best solutions to problems are often not found during brainstorm sessions, but when one isn't thinking about the problem at all, like when you're showering or taking a nap. An argument can be avoided or stopped in its tracks by saying nothing. Some things do inherently require effort to accomplish, such as doing a job at work. But even in these cases, the best work is often done when a person isn't trying too hard or when time is taken to find the best solution before acting. Action and non-action go hand in hand and are supported by one another. There is another translation of chapter 48 of the Tao Te Ching, which I read at the beginning of the video. This translation renders the first two lines of the chapter like this: "One who seeks knowledge learns something new every day. One who seeks the Tao unlearns something new every day." Unlearning is definitely an important part of coming near to Tao. In order to become one with Tao, we must discard the lessons we have learned throughout life that have contributed to our separation from Tao and from all things. Some of these lessons we were aware of learning, and others we learned without our realizing it. While many of these things happened outside of our control, we now have the ability to unlearn them. This is mostly done by focusing on coming closer to the Tao. As we come to know the Tao better, we will increasingly become aware of all the ways in which we are not currently like it, and we will have opportunities to be taught a better way, the way, with a capital W. This way is found by putting aside our desires, working softness and quietness into our days and into our attitudes, and by being responsive to the pushes and pulls of our intuition. As we do this, learning and unlearning will come naturally, and so will doing and non-doing. If you're new to the channel, this can seem kind of ethereal and difficult to wrap your head around. If that's the case, I would recommend you spend some time reading and pondering the Tao Te Ching. This video is number 48 in an 81-part series where we break down each chapter of the Tao Te Ching to try and understand it better. So if you would like, you can use these videos as a companion to your study. Additionally, you can join the Discord, where we talk about Taoism and the Tao Te Ching every day. You can hop into the chapter-specific threads to see these concepts discussed by a positive community. With all that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for chapter 49. Peace and blessings.